England Patriot of all time, Stanley Morgan.
I can promise you, as a kid growing up in Boston, if I was playing touch football and I was lined up at wide receiver, I was Stanley Morgan.
The Patriots found their 1977 first-round draft pick at the University of Tennessee.
At Tennessee, they sing the praises of Stanley Morgan.
But while he caught passes in college on occasion, he was a running back by trade.
Remember when they first took him, said, what are you going to do with this guy? And they knew what they were going to do, which was throw him the ball.
What you saw right away was a difference in speed.
Stanley Morgan scored his first touchdown as the Patriots rolled past the Jets 24-13.
Even the guys that were as fast as him didn't look as fast, didn't look as smooth, didn't look as athletic.
He's got Morgan with 35 to 40, down the 30 to 25 to 20. Touchdown, New England!
Teams were backing up when he came out of the huddle. They were petrified of Stanley Morgan.
Back then, you go deep and I'm going to hit you and see what happens. And he was just so explosive, so great at getting downfield. Probably the most exciting single offensive threat the Patriots have ever had.
A big play receiver now might average, 13, 14, 15 yards a catch. Stanley Morgan routinely averaged better than 20 yards a catch.
Morgan takes it to the 20, 15, touchdown, New England!
19.2 yards per catch over 13 seasons. That's more than Randy Moss.
Just look down one side and find 81. I'm going deep.
Terrell Owens.
It's going to be hard for you to overthrow me.
Lynn Swann. It's one of the top 10 of all time.
He was catching the ball 20 yards downfield. He wasn't catching it 8 and then taking it. So air traveled was probably more significant than any player in NFL history. You can look at Stanley, and some people would say, well, he's a one-trick pony.
He's got Morgan on the fly. He grabs it at the 20, down to the 10-5. Touchdown!
He was a home run hitter. And that's how they played. They played the vertical game in those days.
He wasn't just a great downfield receiver. He was also pretty good with yards after catch.
A lot of people would say, well, you didn't see him catching in traffic. It's because he ran past all the traffic. The traffic was saying, hey, slow down, will you?
Down to 30 to 25 to 20. Touchdown, New England!
Back look at the throw, and he sends it deep down the middle. He's got a receiver. Stanley Morgan, touchdown!
Stanley Morgan, to me, is the most underrated Patriot in the history of the team, and maybe one of the most underrated players in the history of football.
And it is touchdown, Stanley Morgan!
Stanley Morgan is better than many of the wide receivers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Stanley Morgan, touchdown!
Number 9 is a good spot for Stanley Morgan.
I probably would push him higher just because I think that he's the great unrecognized player.
Right sideline, touchdown, Stanley Morgan!
You put him on these championship teams, all of a sudden that's a different ranking.
Fires deep, touchdown! Patriots score! Stanley Morgan holds it in!
Stanley Morgan is the best wide receiver in Patriots history.